Hey everybody, it's your boy Brody, and today, or tonight rather, on this walk, I wanted to talk about manifestation. I wanted to talk about how important it was and how you can use it to your advantage. So, what I think, or what I believe it means is, and the specific topic of manifestation, specifically more on speaking things into existence and making sure that you make it like that. You make that thing happen that you want to happen. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about manifestation, you're really talking about speaking things purely, being completely honest about what you're trying to say, what you're trying to do. Your intentions need to be completely, I wouldn't even say they'd have to be rational, because you can manifest negativity and violence and all these other things, that are negative. So when you speak things into existence and you want to go do something, you generally go make that happen. Now I'm on the wrong side of the light here. I gotta wait because I'm a dumbass. Alright, hold on. I'm not a dumbass. See, it's one of those things, talking about speaking things into existence. And when you do things like put yourself down, as a prime example, you allow your cells in your body to really feel like that. So your mind doesn't know any better. Your body doesn't know any better. I'm sorry. Your body doesn't know any better. Though you do, your body doesn't. So you got to be careful with how you speak to yourself and how you speak to others. It's really important to make sure that you give yourself credit when it's due. Make sure you pat yourself on the back every once in a while. Don't always go out looking for it, because it's most likely when you go out and you look for it, it's just not gonna happen. I've had those things happen to me, with certain insecurities, and it just wasn't fit for how I was actually trying to feel, because when people would come across me and they would express how they felt about the work that I did in any situation, I would feel extremely grateful. I'd feel really happy about it, and there was no like odd feelings or anything like that. When you're completely honest with yourself, you can be honest with others, and I think that is the place that I'm trying to get to, completely. And it's not like, I don't mean it in a way where it's like you lie to people constantly and then you feel bad about it, but it's more or less on the lines of, you gotta be understanding of who you are and what you know, and express that in a way where other people can understand it. And not everyone at the same time is like a teacher, so you can't really expect people to sit there through everything that you talk about, because that's just, unfortunately, everyone has to come across their own time with manifestation. Those of you that will watch this video will understand, and it brought you here because you wanted to be here. I have spoke. Come on. I have. I just have to let this car go. And I've spoke things into existence that I didn't mean to. Like, let's say, for instance, when you say something extremely rude in an argument, or extremely disrespectful in an argument, and you didn't necessarily mean that, and you hurt the other person's feelings, and you didn't really mean for that to happen, but out of uncontrollable anger, without control of your emotions, you happen to lash out, and that's why you ended up in that situation where you said something that you weren't supposed to. Instead of thinking first, what my girlfriend does is she says that she asks God first before she does anything. And that was a crazy thought for me, but if you really think about it, it's a woman that asks God anything before it happens. So not only is it like you're asking God, but you're asking someone else. Like, is this something I would do? Is this something I want to go through with? Is this something I want to be a part of? Is this somewhere I want to be? And then you think of the other side. Well, what would happen in this situation? Where am I going to end up? I got to work on this camera thing, sorry. Where am I going to end up? And when you ultimately realize that what you say will manifest, if you truly feel like that. Now, even if you accidentally feel like that, it'll still have an effect. Like I said earlier, you'll make someone feel bad for something that you said that you didn't mean to say. Even if you said it out loud and you did mean it, you didn't want to say that, you didn't mean to say that. So tying it back over there. But when you really grow into yourself, because it's hard to find yourself, people talk about like self-development and self-love and love thyself, and stuff like that. And what you gotta understand is, it's like, or what I've understood, because I'm not trying to tell anybody nothing. These are things that I know. And these are things that like I went through. So what I think I've understood about knowing myself and getting to know myself was breaking down myself and rebuilding myself. And that's kind of hard for some people to understand. So let me break it down like this. You have a construction site, and on the construction site you have a foundation. Your foundation is your childhood. Whatever you went through in your childhood is what's gonna happen, or what's gonna reflect later on. Hold on, I gotta cross the street. Alright, so whatever happens in your childhood is what's gonna reflect later on in your life. And whether you notice it or not, a lot of people don't, is those things will infringe certain opportunities because you reacted certain ways. If anyone grows up without a father, they grow up without masculinity. A certain portion, so like a certain percentage of masculinity will just not be in their character simply because the father was not in the house. And same thing with the woman. If a mother isn't in the house, there's a certain percentage of femininity that the person will be missing. There's duality within everything. That's that equality that I was trying to talk about. So when you really break it down, like, I know this is going to be a long pause because I'm trying to think about stuff. I'm trying to really think about it. It's important to understand what you're saying at the time that you're saying it, and notice what you're going to say beforehand. And I know that's just simple as saying, like, think about what you're about to say, but it's really more in the perspective of, like, you are looking at your thoughts. So like this would be you, your eyes, looking at what you're thinking, what's flowing through your brain at the moment. And in that process, you articulate a fashionable sentence. You come out with that sentence, and whether it's true or not, it's there, it's out there, it's physical. You just said something, but it's physical. So the universe is going to react to that. Now, thinking is just as pure. Thinking is just as effective if it's pure, but we'll get to that later. So when you think about thinking, you can understand more and stop more of what you're gonna say. So like, let's say you're a hothead like me. I've had a lot of problems in situations where I've said things I didn't mean to say, or situations where I've disrespected people that in no way needed to have that or receive that disrespect from me. In other situations, there have people that I have given disrespect to, or I have outspoken or stood up for myself against another person because they were wrong, but it was to the extremity of where it shouldn't have gone. You cross that line, that border, that invisible force that you just should not be on the other side of. But I've always been the person to challenge authority because I don't like being confined. So when it gets to the area where I am confined, at this point in my life, I try and speak out, rather vaguely, but in a blunt way where the other party will understand what I mean. And this is tried out a lot at home. You can work these things out at home. You can sit down and talk to your partner and work on these other things. And that's what I like about who I'm with, because I can actually sit down and have these long conversations about things that I think are important that would better us as people. And I know I said I'm a lot. Oh my goodness, I said I'm a lot. Oh gosh, that's annoying. But check it. What I'm trying to say is, and what I'm trying to get down to the point of is, because I gotta wrap this up. Manage your vocabulary. Manage your vocal skills. And I don't even mean just like lyrically. I just mean just in general. Like, take care of what you're saying, as though what you're about to say is gonna be said to the most important person of your life. Some sort of, I don't know if you look up to anybody, or if you just look upon yourself, because I look in the mirror a lot. So I think like I want to say this to my future self, like what I want to say is something that my future self will be proud of, basically, because I want to be a better person. And that's just for me how that works. You can make it work a different way. That's just my way of doing it. I see a future me looking back on the younger me, which I've done plenty of times, and I know everyone else has, because we're human. We do it all the time. We think about the past. I want to think about the past as, instead of it being where I left it, burning, I want to be where I look at it and it's important to me. I want to look back at it and learn something. I want to look back at me and think like, wow, that guy was really up to par. I look up to him. And that's just how I'm trying to be now, and it's tough, because, you're thinking about all these things and you want to be a part of like the future, but it's, I don't know, in certain ways I'm very old school. I didn't catch up with technology until a few years ago, and I wasn't really into it. I really wasn't. Showing my face wasn't a thing, but here we are. It all started with my boy Drewski. Shout out Andrew. You know what it is. And we started playing games, and now we're here. So you talk things into existence. You speak things into existence. It's manifestation. You want to go do something, go do it. If it's real enough to you and you care about it enough, you're going to go do it. You're going to make it happen because that's what you really want to do. At the same time, I've seen a lot of people with a lot of potential and a lot of skill sit down and not do anything with it. And there's a problem with that for me. I think that everybody who has a skill, that knows that they have a skill, needs to use it. So, and I'm not saying that that's your purpose to use that skill, but I think any form of creativity in the world is pertinent to anyone else, because someone else is going to see it, someone else is going to reflect on it, someone else is going to think about it, and it's just a continuation. It's just a cycle of knowledge, and at some point that knowledge will become wisdom to somebody else, and that's where I'm at. I'm 26. That's in supreme mathematics. That's knowledge, wisdom. So I'm wisdom and equality this year. 26, wisdom and equality. Go look it up, supreme mathematics. You'll learn a lot. Supreme alphabet too. Speak things into existence, please. Use your skill, hone it, own it, and throw it out there. Give it to the world, whatever it looks like, whatever you think it feels like. Even if you don't like it, I promise someone else is gonna like it, because I held back for so long, just staying behind the camera, and I didn't really want to take selfies. I didn't really want to be in front of the camera. And just in just a few weeks in front of the camera, thinking that there's a booger in my nose and it's really just my hair hanging out my nose, and I'm picking it in front of you because I'm that comfortable. It doesn't mean anything to me. And it's once you build that character and once you get there, I feel like I own my character now. I'm where I'm at and where I'm supposed to be at this present moment. Every single day, you get better, and better things happen for the better if you choose to be better. And that's how that works. You want to be bad things will happen. Negativity will arise, and it will, and bad problems and all that other BS will ensue. That's just how it is. Speak things into manifestation. It's your boy Rody. I'm out of here.